The New York Mets are still making moves to fortify their roster as we move closer towards spring training. The Mets, they brought back a key piece of their bullpen on Saturday, but what other moves do they have up their sleeve? Let's talk some Mets baseball, and we're going to do it with the host of the Subway to Shea podcast, my guy, Anthony Rivera. Anthony, it's been a while since we have talked about the Amazons. How are you doing? It's good to talk some baseball in late January.
Dexter, I'm so happy to be on here with you again. Get ready to start talking Mets baseball. Get ready for spring training. It's upon us, and I'm ready for it. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Spring training just a couple of weeks away, unbelievably already. Now, the news on Saturday was Adam Ottavino's coming back to Flushing. The right-hander had opted out of the final year of his deal after last season, but now has agreed to a one-year, $4.5 million deal to return to the Mets bullpen. Ottavino's first season, Anthony, with the Mets in 2022 was a strong one. He wasn't as effective in 2023. So I have to ask you this. Do you like the move to bring the reliever back to Queens?
I know it's not the flashiest of moves for the bullpen, but, you know, Adam Ottavino, I kind of like the move. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Like you said, 2022, 2.06 ERA, 2023, it ballooned up to 3.21. Career with the Mets, 262 out of the 2 seasons. And, you know, the thing that he has to work on is his ability to stop base runners from stealing second. I know he gives up a lot of walks, and what that means is it kind of feels like a double because a lot of base runners are stealing against him. And if he can work on that moving into this season, I think that this is good for the Mets, and it's good for Ottavino. I know he's 38 years old, but relievers are Jekyll and Hyde every season. And, you know, when you got a guy who had a 3.21 ERA last season in the bullpen that we had, that's pretty good. I know he did not do well in big situations, but now he's not going to be called upon to be the closer because Edwin Diaz is coming back. So when you have the back end of the bullpen being Diaz, Raley, and Ottavino, that looks like it's a pretty good deal for me, and I will definitely take that.
Yeah, that's a good note about him moving down a peg here this season with Diaz coming back and maybe a little bit more comfortable in the role that he will be in for the Mets in 2024. Now, moving on, according to New York Post baseball columnist John Heyman, the Mets are pursuing lefty relievers, and they've been targeting Wandy Peralta, who had a sub-3 ERA in all 3 of his seasons with the Yankees, so New York baseball fans will be familiar with him. It looks like the Amazons could use another lefty in the pen. Would you like to see the team sign Peralta, and do you think he can be a good fit in Flushing?
I don't know if I could say yes enough times to this type of move. The Mets have always needed at least 2 lefties in the bullpen, and they haven't been doing that over the last couple of years. Or if they did, it's kind of minor lefty moves that never worked out. You got Wandy Peralta, who has a 2.82 ERA in 3 seasons with the New York Yankees. We see that he could pitch in New York. He knows the manager, just like Harrison Bader and Luis Severino, Carlos Mendoza, and it would be nice to have a second lefty to go along with Brooks Raley. I am all for the move, and I wouldn't mind it at all. I don't really care that he pitched in the Bronx. That doesn't bother me. Get another lefty in the bullpen to help out Brooks Raley. And then now you have Diaz, Ottavino, Raley, Peralta. That's a good 4 right there for your bullpen. So I'll take Wandy Peralta.
Yeah, not bad. Mets fans haven't always felt good about their bullpen over the years, so having some stability and guys have got it done could help there for sure. Now, Anthony, we talked about this spring training only a few weeks away. How are you feeling right now about this Mets roster and their ability to compete in 2024?
There's a lot of ifs on this roster, and I never like dealing with ifs. But if this team works out the way David Stearns wants it to, currently constructed, I see them right now at 79 to 82 wins. You add Peralta to that, and maybe that's a couple of more wins. If they can add a DH, maybe we're talking like in the heat of the pennant race there. And the most important thing for this team is if they are in the pennant race, they can now acquire someone at the trade deadline. If they are not, they have a lot of one-year deals that they could trade people off and probably replenish the farm system. So to me, this season is kind of a win-win. Maybe they won't win the World Series. Maybe they go to the playoffs. Maybe they don't. But in the heart of what needed to be done with this team, I think it's a win-win where they could trade these one-year deals and get prospects, or if they're in the race, they can definitely go for the pennant race and make some trades to make this team better.
All right, we will see. Spring training, as I said, starting in a couple of weeks. Mets fans eager to see if the team will be competitive in 2024. We'll have so much more to talk about around the Amazings. You know I'm going to talk to about that. It's going to be my guy, Anthony Rivera, the host of the Subway to Shea podcast. Anthony, always good, always a pleasure to talk some Mets baseball with you, and we will be doing a lot more of that soon.
Dexter, so happy to be with you, my friend. I'm very excited to talk more Mets baseball.
We will definitely do that. Take care, Anthony. Thank you, man.
Take care.